geblieben sind quasi. Und ja, ich würde mal sagen, letztes Mal haben wir den Brief bekommen und ich würde mal behaupten, wir gehen jetzt hier mal nach. Was haben wir denn hier?
There's no way I'm leaving without finding out about Mother.
Ah, hat sich was gedacht nur dabei. Okay. Ich komme hier nicht hoch. Ah, ich muss noch Hinweise suchen. Okay. Dann suchen wir nach Hinweisen. Ich bin mal sehr gespannt, wo das Ganze dann hier hinführen wird. Bin ich echt eigentlich. Und ich bin auch gespannt, was das Spiel so für uns übrig haben wird. Sehr, sehr gespannt sogar. Hier ist auf jeden Fall mal eine gesperrte Area. Oder wir haben den Schlüssel dafür. Oder auch nicht.
Locked. I'll never get it open bare-handed.
Okay, wir könnten es jetzt knacken, aber das können wir gerade nicht. Mal schauen, ob es eine andere Option gibt.
A wooden floorboard. Judging by the splinters of the wood, this floorboard has been ripped up. Yet it was in decent condition. I wonder why someone ripped it up. What's the point of doing this? Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed. Probably comes from this part of the wharf.
Okay.
The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but still would have been fine if it weren't smashed.
Okay. Enter und Leertaste bringen uns beide ins Menü. Alles klar. Müssen wir also auf zurückdrücken. Okay. Was haben wir jetzt erfahren? Nichts. Das sind Notizen. Inventar. Taschentuch. Emilys Taschentuch. Mortimers Einladung. Und die Kunst, die Menschen aus ihren Gedächtnissen zu erkennen. Okay. Wir haben keinen Punkt mehr frei, glaube ich, ne? Talente. Ach du Heilige. Charismatisch, vertrauensvoll und ein Detektiv. Und ich möchte auch vertrauensvoll bleiben. Wir haben eine Planke also gefunden. Mal schauen, mal schauen. Hier ist noch irgendwas. Gelee Royal. Stellt 2 Konzentrationspunkte wieder her. Kannst nicht mehr als 5 bei dir tragen. 1 zum Einnehmen. Konzentrationspunkte, so viel ich mitbekommen habe, sind links unten. Okay. Na dann. Hier ist eine Box und ein Fass.
This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough.
Okay. Gelee Royal. Alles klar. Ah.
Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Okay. Just a random thought. Alles klar. Was haben wir denn hier?
Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy.
Und in den Hintern rein. So wie Adventures halt laufen. Okay, Space. Einfach also schon mit schwarzen Spitze und halt die Sachen hier. Okay.
A sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any.
Okay. Chili Royale. Aha. Okay. Man scheint was für Bienen.
Some rope.
Gut zu
Apparently
haben.
no one's touched it for a good long time.
Ja. Scheint so. Hm.
A lantern. Nothing special.
Okay.
Let's see what's hidden inside.
Hm.
Let's look. A letter written in an Oriental language.
Sprachen.
I haven't the slightest idea what it says.
Leider. Puh.
Ah, one of the letters is stamped with the seal of the order. And I recognize your handwriting anywhere, Mother.
But who is this Samuel Ritter Dauchois? Who are you writing to?
I don't recognize the name. Let's see what's inside this letter. So,
Dear Samuel, my stay on Lord Mortimer's island is going wonderfully well. As I find myself in such charming company, I plan to stay a few more weeks. Would you be so kind as to send me a gift that I'd like to give to our old friend Manuel Godoy? I would be most grateful. I have been told that he's going to join us here soon. I would like to mark the occasion. Thank you in advance. Yours devotedly, Sarah Faustine de Richet.
what is your game here, Mother? Secrets, always more secrets. You never talk to anyone using language like this. Something's going on here. Who is this Samuel Ritter? And for crying out loud, who is this Manuel Godoy that you keep bringing up? Think. Godoy. Manuel Godoy. Why does the name sound so familiar?
Verdammt. Hätte ich Politik gewählt.
I'm guessing he's a man of some importance. Spanish, I'd say. But just can't put a face to him. Well, hope we meet to talk about it soon, Mother. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into this time, but I'll bet you've got a lot to tell me.
Okay. Können wir nochmal reinschauen, weil vielleicht ist noch ein Brief an Godoy.
Let's see what's hidden inside. Let's look.
Ich weiß nicht, ob das sonst eine Auswirkung hat, wenn ich zu viele Briefe lese. Oder soll ich Briefe lesen? So, dann weiter hin oder geht zum Herrenhaus. Okay, ich kann jetzt also hochgehen. Ich würde mal vorschlagen.
Let's see what's hidden inside.
Ich hoffe,
Let's
wir
look.
bekommen nicht zu viel Ärger, wenn wir die anderen anschauen. Wir können aber hier immer wieder runterkommen. Wir können immer hier wieder runterkommen, hoffentlich. Ich hoffe, es war kein Fehler, die anderen Briefe nicht durchzulesen. Aber ich würde jetzt, vertrauenswürdig wie ich bin, diese Briefe nicht lesen. Und erstmal hier quasi weiterhin
It's like
den
the
Gurken
barrel's been
spielen.
broken for quite some time.
Na dann, würde ich sagen, gehen wir mal hoch. Hoch. Ah, das Symbol muss ich erwischen. Okay.
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
Die Tipps sind immer zu kurz am Tipp. Am Bildschirm. Das schaut mal.
Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Ricci, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Während einer Konversation musst du durch mehrere Phasen gehen und dabei so überzeugend wie möglich bleiben. Konversationen wirken sich auf den Verlauf der Geschichte aus, daher solltest du dabei auch bei Bedarf auch deine Fertigkeiten nutzen. Bei jeder Konversation wird grafisch angezeigt, wie sehr du die Person, mit der du redest, überzeugen konntest. Autsch.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow, then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
Only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is commendable. But as we work together on a daily basis, it is surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
My mother and I belong to the same secret organization, the Golden Order, which I joined a few years ago. Mother trained me, and I assist in her research. In other words, you can trust me.
My child, you are telling a perfect stranger that you and your mother work for a secret society. It would seem that discretion is not one of your specialities, my son. You will understand that it does not encourage me to put my trust in you.
Shit! All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Only you know that, Your Eminence.
Warte mal. Persönlichkeit. Jede Person, die du auf der Insel triffst, hat ihre eigene Persönlichkeit, wodurch sie gegenüber manchen Fertigkeiten anfällig wird. Anderen gegenüber hingegen immun bleibt. Okay. Um deine Ziele zu erreichen, musst du die Persönlichkeit deiner Konversationspartner kennen. Wenn du eine Fertigkeit einsetzt, gegen die eine Immunität folgt, wirst du keinen Erfolg haben und zugleich in den Zustand erschöpft geraten. Nutzt du hingegen eine Schwäche mit der entsprechenden Fertigkeit aus, erst einen Konzentrationspunkt zurück. Immunität erkannt, Schwäche erkannt.
If you're at
Schwäche Befragung. Immunität noch unbekannt. Okay. Immerhin.
Me if you can trust me, or if I can keep a secret, I would answer yes. Absolutely.
I understand.
In truth, it all depends on the nature of the contents of your letter.
It is a list of names.
This list must be of extreme importance.
Ah, if only you knew. It's a list of people that your mother must help. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Letzte Phase. In der letzten Phase musst du die Person, mit der du redest, überzeugen, indem du die passende Dialogoption auswählst. Wenn du dich falsch entscheidest, wird die Phase so lang wiederholt, bis du die richtige Option wählst oder keine Fehler mehr sind. Letzte Phase einer Konfrontation wird mit Misserfolgsfall wiederholt. Okay, das klingt promising.
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur de Ricci. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
Ich werde ihn lesen. So viel ist sicher. Verborgene Elemente. Viele Hinweise und Gegenstände sind nicht sofort ersichtlich. Manche von ihnen wirken sich auf dein Abenteuer aus. Deswegen solltest du stets die Augen offen halten. Okay. Piagis Brief. Versiegelt. Okay. So, wir haben jetzt wieder zurück. 3 sollten wir immer haben, habe ich gelernt mittlerweile. Also schauen wir mal uns um. Geht zur Gruppe beim Kamin. Okay. Gleich.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Aber es schaut trotzdem, kann man sagen, was man will, sehr, sehr schön hier aus. Wenn auch imposant und beeindruckend und furchteinflößend. So viel kann man schon mal sagen. Das definitiv. Zur Gruppe am Kamin.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Riche. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Riche's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the Order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision.
Ich möchte erstmal Washington zuhören, glaube ich.
Let's see what Washington has to say. Sir, if you don't mind, I shall stay here.
Do exactly as you please, young man.
Louis, thank you for staying. Just like you, when I arrived this morning, I found out that Sarah had gone missing. I know your mother well. Don't worry. Emily is from the English branch of the Golden Order.
And President Washington is in fact the leader of the Order in the United States.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Sorry to have made you wait, but I didn't want to speak in front of the others.
You did well. Secrecy and discretion are the pillars of our organization.
If I can help in any way at all, please don't hesitate to ask, my lad. And if you have any other questions, now's the time.
Das war der richtige Zeitpunkt.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Lord Mortimer is a remarkable man. He's wealthy and is advisor to the very highly placed. Your mother is the head of the Order in France. It doesn't surprise me that he asked her to come.
Lord Mortimer greatly contributed to financing my electoral campaign, for example. But I want this to be clear, without ever seeking to gain an advantage.
And that is to his credit.
Yes, you can trust him. He will do everything in his power to help you find Sarah.
Mr. Washington, you seem to be very familiar with my mother.
When did you last speak to her?
Philadelphia, 15 years ago. Sarah often went back and forth between France and the United States.
Yes, I remember those days. I didn't see her too often. Right. Would it be too much if I asked you a few more questions?
Not at all. Go ahead. But I can't promise I'll remember everything.
May I ask, when you saw each other, what did you talk about? When she came to the US, did you exchange ideas about the Golden Order?
Exactly. What's more, she was essential in helping set up the American branch of the Order. I would never have become its leader without her help. We are a new country, and to achieve our democratic ideals, we need to count on discrete powers such as our organization.
Thank you, sir. I was hoping to speak with Lord Mortimer. At least now I have some information, thanks to you.
I repeat, Lord Mortimer is a man of his word. You won't be disappointed. And I am persuaded that your mother's research is his main concern.
I wonder if Mother is still on the island. Could she not have taken a boat and left?
I don't see how. No vessel can moor closer than 200 yards. Not to mention the permanent presence of staff and servants. There is one strange thing, I grant you. This island is barely the size of Delaware, and despite that, no one has been able to locate your mother.
So my mother still must be on the island.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm sure nothing bad has happened to her.
Yes, I hope not.
Careful, they're coming back.
Uh-huh.
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
Sir Holm, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Just mentioning Elizabeth totally changed Washington's attitude. Looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence.
Washington looks surprised, but Holmes doesn't seem to see it. I wonder if he's being polite or if he really doesn't see his discomfort.
On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Elizabeth Adams.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right, where is my room?
Ja, wo ist das Zimmer? Das ist eine gute Frage, das werden wir beim nächsten Mal sehen. Eine sehr aufschlussreiche Folge. Danke fürs Zusehen, bis zum nächsten Mal und bis dorthin. Spielt schon brav weiter.